Why some men just don't do dates anymore. Let's go on and talk about it.
I was just patient, never try skating. Fuck niggas hating.
Reality is, at one point we started off with traditional values, and you would meet a girl either at school, church, or around the neighborhood because we didn't have access to the internet. And so what happened was you'd meet a girl, you'd court her, you'd meet her parents, they'd chaperone you to dates, and you'd pay for the date as a man, and you'd pursue this woman, and then intentionally you guys would date and then end up married. Now that would be even before my time, but it makes perfect sense to me. I've seen a lot of movies too that you see this happening. Then as we evolve, we still take women on dates, but in some kind of way through social media and influences, you see a lot of men who started over glorifying women, sexuality, watching adult content, and then you have women who have adult content pages, and then men subscribe, and then you see people like, I think her name is Bad Baby or something like that, who made $22 million in one month off of her OnlyFans page. And so you see this, and then we're living in a economically challenged society where everybody's struggling, and then especially women who at one point in time didn't have equal rights and weren't allotted to the opportunity to provide for themselves. It's a whole history behind how the dating scene shifted. So with modern women, pretty much knowing that men are sexual or sexually thirsty and like the dog with the pink thing, and just like all they got to do is post some seductive photos. Excuse me on this video, I got to watch my mouth. Can't really say certain words, but they post provocative and seductive pictures, and then they get 3,000, 300,000, depending on how many followers they have, they get that many likes. So now the woman's mind is like, and then there's other women who are already at that status where they got 500,000 plus subscribers. They're getting their channels monetized. They're getting money in their pocket. Now they qualify for what they consider the high value man. And from what I've been told, high value men make 8 to 10 grand a month. So at least 120 to 400 plus and up $1,000 a year, and they get treated to trips, shopping sprees, cars for their birthdays, bills paid, and all of these things. And then you have the average woman, the average Joe woman, who's still in the neighborhood, who she's like, well, I want that, and I look just as good as she do. She takes her little monies when she get it in, and she go pays for, body, parts, and then she gets it all hooked up, and then she's like, okay, she does this so that she can appeal to one of these higher value men. And when another man who isn't higher value yet comes around, who may be around her area, who tries to talk to her, she's like, okay, we can talk, but where you taking me? I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then he's like, sure. I could be around you if I do that. Sure. And then she goes and she eats this luxury dinner. And sometimes women go over the top where they bring a few friends with them. Yeah. Or they say, hey, I need you to pay for my kids too. Yeah. And men are now frowning at this like, wait a minute, this is getting out of hand, right? So to bring this home, men are catching on to the fact that we are being used. We are being taken advantage of. These women are accepting our date invitations, showing up, entitled to telling us what place they we can and can't take them to. So now we gotta fit where she wants to go into our budget. And then after the date is up, or while we're on the date, she's brung a friend or two or three or four in some cases, or she wants us to pay for her kids' food that didn't even come on the date so she could take food home for them. And then after the meal is paid for, she doesn't reach for her wallet to even leave a tip. So he has to pay a tip too. And then if he drove her there, he drops her back off. And when the date's over, she says, okay, thanks, hon. And then he never hears from her unless it's a transactional thing where, where are we going? Oh, yeah, perfect. You call me. Yeah, because I just wanted to go get some crab legs. Can you take me to get some crab legs? And he's like, I was thinking something like take a walk in the park. She's like, walk in the park? Okay. So I have 10 reasons why men are no longer taking women on dates. Number one, modern women feel entitled to dictate where men take her, on the date. Where she feels entitled to dictate where she is taken on the date. This man is offering to take you on the date, therefore has to pay for the date, but she is entitled to tell him, or she feels entitled to tell him where he can take her. And he's like, even if I could afford what you want, it's my money. It was my idea. So that's definitely a reason why men just aren't even attempting to take women on dates anymore. Number two, he may never hear from her again after spending his hard-earned money on her. He knows this. So men are thinking, okay, how do I date somebody that's intentional? Because women, they lie, and I know. You know what I'm saying? I told you guys, I'm going to keep drilling this in y'all head. There's 3 ways that women go about getting their needs met. One is assertively and direct and honestly by telling you their intentions up front, and then now you know what you are dealing with, so you have the right to accept or decline. 2, they do this in a passive way to where they pretend to go with your flow so that everything that you provide is your own, you enter at your own risk, and they will accept it. And the only time they would decline in going out with you is if what they secretly look after or seek after, they're not getting. So you talk to them less and less, and only time you'll really be able to reinitiate another interaction with them is if you actually said something that they were interested in. And then 3, they use the art of seduction, and this is referred to as love bombing. Now, in order for a woman to want to love bomb you, she has to see something in you that she wants. Whether it be intimacy, monetary gain, or relationship, long-term relationship. Okay? Keep that in mind. Number 3, women are focused on the transaction of dating, not the connection. Yeah, that's going on. I can see why Men don't want to pay for no date. I actually have taken several women out on dates and never spoke to them again. Absolutely. Just last week, it just happened. But I remember a time when I let a woman pick the location. Never spoke to her again either. I understand why men aren't taking women on dates. They're just so focused on the transaction and not the connection. Number 4, he gets nothing in return, including no respect, no reassurance, or even the notion that she likes him for him. So you take this woman out on a date, and she is going to appear to be enjoying herself because she's eating for free. She's at the movies for free. She's getting it's all inclusive. Who doesn't enjoy that, male or female? But afterwards, she don't even text him. He gets no validation. He's not being told, "That was a wonderful date, and I really like you." And she's not being honest, and he gets nothing. He's like, "I took her out on a date. What am I doing wrong? I showed up with flowers. I paid for it and left a tip. What do I got to do to court a woman? Because I don't want to just date. I don't want to have a transactional situation with a woman. I actually want to date her. It's discouraging." Number 5, he could take his time to get to know someone who was feeding him an act the entire time. So dating is the way you meet up with somebody and you exchange interactions and vibes, face-to-face, conversation, face-to-face. You get to look in your eyes. You get to read body language. You get to make sure you weren't catfished, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, so this is taking time. It's not a speedy dating kind of situation. It's taking time. He's sitting across from you. He's being patient. He's thinking. He's coming up with questions. It's taking a whole lot of effort. He has to be confident because he knows how women think, and they want a man who's masculine. And he has to make sure that his teeth is clean, his fingernails are clean, his shoes are clean, he's freshly shaved. He's putting all of this effort into meeting this woman, into grooming this woman, into courting this woman. And she could just be acting because she is using the art of seduction to lure him into a situation he is unfamiliar or unaware of the dynamic she has in mind, which is transactional. And he finds this out after he's been played out of thousands of dollars. You know, he's played, and then he realizes he's with a woman who's masculine herself, or dom, as they like to say, who likes to be controlling and bossy and nagging. I got to watch my mouth, you guys. Okay, so this is another reason why men just aren't interested in taking women on dates. Understandably. Number 6, he's trying to protect himself against potential users. He has trust issues due to modern women or social norms and conditioning. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, how social media influences women to feel entitled to trips, dates, shopping sprees, because there's women who started some OnlyFans page and she's worth millions. Therefore, she's up in the highest tax bracket, and the men who have to date her have to be up there too. So they date on a certain level. A simple date for them could be, let's go to Greece and eat, lobster and shrimp linguine and sip the finest of the wines and go on excursions and visit waterfalls. And we stay in these villa suites. And we can do that for 3 days to a week. And then I'll fly you back home. And everyone was like, yeah, that's what I want. I'm cute. Look at me. So this man is trying to protect himself from these gold digger women. These women who their source of income is it comes from them taking it from men. So you date one of these women and she's like, send me a cash app because 3 or 4 dudes before her automatically sent her a cash app. These celebrities are saying it in their music. Oh, that blank was good. I'm going to send her a cash app. Okay. Number 7, he knows he's not courting this woman. She doesn't even answer in a respectful amount of time when he reaches out to her. He done took her out on a few dates. He liked her. He's texting her, good morning, beautiful. Good evening, beautiful. Good night, beautiful. Talk to you soon, beautiful. Just dumping validation her way. And she reads it. And she goes about her day. She'll get back to you when she's ready. You're just one of her options. Who take her to Greece, who take her to Atlanta, who took her out of the country to Jamaica. You are not special just because you did that, boo-boo. This is why men are reconsidering even dating in general. But if they're still interested in dating, they like, I ain't taking her on no date. She got to show me that it's worth doing. Number 8, he tries the 50-50 method to be fair because he feels like they should both be putting in the mutual effort to get to know each other instead of women being able to take advantage of people just based off of his interest level. And women are like, you want me to pay half the date? And this also shows him who he's dealing with at the date. When he says, you want to go 50-50? And then she turns that down and she gets an attitude. He's like, okay, that's exactly what I thought. This is one of those women who are entitled to a man paying for everything. And he takes his money, spends it on her. She takes her money and spends it on her. He's like, this ain't fair because I got to date multiple people this month just to find a potential qualified candidate. So if I'm going to, let's say hypothetically speaking, take 10 women on a date this month, and it'll say each one of those dates going to cost me $100, that's $1,000. If I go 50-50 on these dates, then I can spend $500 because I know that probably out of the 10, 8 minimum, I'm never going to talk to again. This man is doing the math. And I can say from my own personal experience, even though I do pay for the whole date, if I invite you out, I'm paying for the date. I just am. That's just how I was raised. I'm going to do it. But out of all the times I pay for a date, nothing comes from it. So I'm not mad at him. I understand what he's thinking about. I would love to save some money. Me personally, I'd rather take women on cheaper, more affordable dates than $100, especially if I don't know you. And if a woman don't want to go on a date where I want to go on a date to because she's entitled, then we never go on a date. So I don't even deal with entitled women, period. Number 9, he doesn't benefit from taking care of a woman who can one day leave and take half of his earnings and belongings if he ever makes a mistake, if he ever raises his voice, if he ever does anything to inflict pain on this woman, cheating, lying, anything that he does wrong, the consequences is divorce, half, if not all, wreckage, ruining, demolition, destruction, whatever word you can think of that means crumble. His life crumbles. Everything he sat there and earned before he met this woman, he has to split down the middle, And even if she leaves on her own terms too, even if she says, I see this Chad guy and I never really thought you matched my physical desires, so I'm just gonna go over here. Like, you gonna leave me for a more physically appealing guy? She can do that if she wants to, is my point. She can do it if the guy makes more money than you too. Absolutely. Craziness. Number 10, 9 out of 10 women are unfortunately toxic, manipulative, or they are opportunistic. This is going back to the 3 ways that a woman can pursue what she desires. 1, assertively, direct, and honest. So you know what her intentions are. So it gives you the right to make a decision for yourself to pursue or to retreat. Number 2, she can be passive, where she leads you to believe that you are leading her and she's going with your flow. But when she realizes that you're not doing what she wants you to do, she falls off. So everything you've done to court her or vet her thus far is in vain. Or 3, she seduces you. She uses her sexuality to persuade you, or she's love bombing you by showering you with tons and loads of validation, admiration, attention. She's using terms of endearment like honey, baby, love. And then you feel all googly on the inside and you give, you open up, you lower your guard. So, in my own personal experience with dating, a woman is either going to, the fact that she's going to either love bomb you, that's toxic, that's manipulative, or she's going to play passive, and then that she still gets what she wants out of that deal. But even if a woman is being assertive, she's going to tell you, I want a man to take care of me. I want a man to pay all my bills, take me shopping, send me a cash app. I'm actually looking for something transactional. And so you're like, geez, it don't matter which way she come at me, it's still gonna say the same thing. Women are looking for one of 3 things. She's looking for either physical relations, or she's looking for monetary gain, or she's looking for long-term committed relationship. But when it comes to that long-term committed relationship part, women see this as, can you take care of me? How much money do you make? Do you live alone? Do you have kids under 5, or are your kids grown? And that's still transactional. Men, we are over here thinking we're going to get a woman who respects us, likes us for us. When struggle comes, if I lose my job, she's going to stay by my side. She doesn't care what kind of car I drive. That's what we thinking. And women are listening to even what I just said right now. They're like, no, not interested in that. So now men are like, okay, so if I go chase 5 figures, 6 figures, then this woman to date me now. But then what he learns when he gets up to the 5, 6 figures is that he doesn't want a woman who wants him for his money. He never did. Men always wanted women to want them, for him. Just because he has the money now and you want him, that doesn't mean he's like, oh, okay, I like this. No, he knows what you're there for. So now he uses you up. He uses the woman up. He's like, yeah, I know you're only here for my money, so I'm just going to take full advantage of what you come with and then throw you back out there. And there goes the cycle. And it's weird, too, because when he does get money and he knows that, oh, I got to take you on the trip, he'll take you on one little trip, right? That's his, if she was a recording artist at a label and he's the record label, that's her advance. And then after she gets her advance, he needs to recoup. And he's going to take it about those buns. That soup cooler. Mm-hmm. He gonna spend you, bend you, and go up in you. And she doesn't think she's being a prosty or a 304. I don't know how she don't, but these women don't believe that that's what they're doing. They're boastful about it. They're proud. And they don't care nothing what a brother like me got to say or think about her because she's looking at her wallet and she made 17 blah, blah, blah thousand last month. And that's important to her because A, money is important to survive. But also when you got these other celebrities who make millions of dollars off of taking pictures of their feet. And she's like, I keep my feet done. Why can't I get at least 1 million? If I can't do no OnlyFans and that the money wasn't coming fast enough for that, then I'll just wear these skimpy clothes, and any guy who tries to talk to me, I'm gonna charge him just to just to conversate. Before he even thinks he's getting anything from me, he's going to have to already pay me. So she's entitled to making it rich just because she's cute. And that is why men aren't interested in taking women on dates anymore. If you like this video, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jerome, and this has been yet another episode of The Superb Word. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of y'all day. Good morning to you, and I'll be back with y'all shortly. 2 fingers.